The temperatures have led to multiple bushfires burning across the Canadian state of British Columbia, destroying towns like Lytton in their wake. Temperatures topped nearly 50 degrees Celsius in British Columbia and 47 degrees Celsius in the US state of Oregon. A high pressure system is believed to be the cause of this unrelenting heat, and it's expected to continue for the next 2 weeks. Dr. Kristina Dahl is a senior climate scientist at the Union of Concerned Scientists in San Francisco. Dr. Kristina Dahl, if we could take the high altitude view first, there seems to be some link here between those intense weather systems and what's going on in the jet stream. Can you explain that to us?
Sure. So what happened here in North America over the last week or so is that the jet stream, which is this current of air, moves west to east across the country and brings us most of our weather, has become very wavy. In other words, it has these big, ups and downs, if you're looking at it on a map. And because of that, weather patterns are getting kind of trapped in the waves. And scientists, it's a very active area of research right now, trying to figure out whether this wavier jet stream pattern, this isn't the first time we've observed it, is connected to trends in climate change and what that might mean for the future.
Well, what is the scientific thinking about how it might be linked to climate change?
So the idea is that as our climate is warming, the northern poles, the Arctic, is warming faster than the tropical areas. And what that does is changes the gradient in temperatures, the difference in temperatures between them. And that's enabling the jet stream to get wobblier and wavier. That's the theory, and it certainly does seem to be borne out in people's everyday experience, especially this summer.
You mentioned the Arctic. Obviously, people are very focused on ice melts at both ends of the globe, but there are other aspects of the Arctic environment which have big climate change implications, aren't there?
So the Arctic has huge stores of carbon in the form of permafrost, or soil that's frozen year-round. So if we're warming up that permafrost, or if the ecosystem there is burning, we release a lot of that carbon in the form of methane into the atmosphere. And that methane is a very powerful heat-trapping gas. It's actually more powerful than carbon dioxide, just less abundant in the atmosphere. So as we release that methane, it induces what's called a positive feedback loop. So you release the methane because it's warming, and then the methane causes more warming, and the process just sustains itself. We also know that the Arctic has large high latitude forests, and those are also really important for storing carbon. We've seen the past few years large wildfires in places like Alaska here in the United States or Siberia. And again, those fires are releasing an incredible amount of carbon.
And presumably the jet stream wiggling would also have fairly significant impacts on the weather systems we're a bit obsessed about here, El Nino and La Nina.
Yeah, so, all of the atmospheric circulation on the planet is linked. And one of those linkages that's particularly important for Australian climate is the Indian Ocean dipole. And that's the difference in the temperature of the oceans in northern Australia compared to off the coast of Africa. So that's one that we keep an eye on to see what the seasonal outlook might be for Australia. Is it going to be warmer than normal, wetter than normal, that sort of thing? Scientists are predicting that as Australia moves through spring and into summer, you can expect to see warmer than average temperatures, as well as potentially wetter than normal conditions, which is good news given the wildfire risk and some of the really extremely dry years that the country has experienced recently.
Do you believe we're likely to see more of this sort of extreme weather as a result of climate change?
There are many ways that climate change is going to exacerbate or worsen extreme weather, from stronger heat waves and longer heat waves to more intense droughts, more intense rainstorms, stronger hurricanes, and a whole host of ways we can expect to see these kinds of events happening more frequently and more severely as we continue to warm the planet.
Dr. Kristina Dahl, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 7:30's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.